welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and today I'm going to go through my favorite makeup brushes and how I use each one. So it's actually going to be a makeup tutorial slash brush tutorial. There's 7 brushes here that I'm going to go through plus a beauty sponge. I'm going to go through my favorite makeup of the moment and just show you how to create this look that I currently have on. All right, let's get started. So I always start my makeup application with my face. I put primer on first. This is the Dior Backstage. You don't need much, and I apply primer with my hands. If you ever get your makeup done by a professional, they'll oftentimes use a brush to apply your primer. You don't need to do that, and in fact, you can use your hands. I actually prefer that because it's pushing it into your pores and really helping the makeup sit smoothly instead of potentially having brush marks. And then this way you can also push it up into your hairline. So this is the first brush that I use. This is called a stippling brush. And the reason I like this one is because it applies your foundation really lightly and buildable. So there are other foundation brushes that can go on denser, but I actually find that I use less product with this and it gives you a nice, pretty natural look. And then for foundation, this is my all-time favorite. This is Smashbox Studio Skin. So I apply it directly on to the stippling brush and I just brush it all over. You want to blend your foundation down your neck as well. This is going to help make it not look so severe, especially because I prefer darker foundation. So you use this brush and you run it in circles all over your face and just get a really nice smooth canvas. I go back over with a sponge. This is the Real Technique sponge. I love this sponge for the price point and I just like how squishy it is. I found that the beauty blenders weren't my favorite. I actually like how this has the flat edge. And then I apply foundation directly to the sponge and I tap it out. And if you have large pores on your nose, tap it in, like push it in. Don't rub the sponge, just tap. This is what's gonna give you a really smooth, seamless makeup application. It just makes your skin look perfect. If you get the sponge wet before you start using it, it doesn't absorb your foundation into the sponge and it actually makes your skin look more dewy. So next I do under eye concealer and I actually don't use a brush for this. I just use that sponge again. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and I use color Vanilla. So when you take your sponge, again, keep tapping. You're not gonna rub, just tap in the product. And I like to look up when I apply my under eye concealer because I don't want it to crease. So just keep looking up until you can set it with powder. So for setting powder, I'm gonna use the Fenty. This is in color Butter. And I really enjoy this powder. I just find that it's so fine. And then you tap it into your under eye. So I always set my under eye with the sponge and then I set the rest of my face with a brush. So this is my face powder brush. Just a big, soft, fluffy brush. And then you tap it into the powder and push the product onto your skin. So I use powder all over my face. This not only helps set my makeup, but it also keeps my skin from getting really shiny. Once you have a base layer of powder, you can kind of lightly brush it, very lightly though. All right, so next step is contour. So this is my contour brush, and this is a brush that I actually got with a contour palette. It's nice and flat and pretty dense. I really like the Shade and Light contour palette. This is from Kat Von D. You apply down your nose lightly. It's hard to do it into the camera, so I'm gonna hold my mirror up right here. And then I like to do my jawline. So you can trace your jawline and really give it that defined angular look, and then you blend it. So blend it down. And that's why I like this brush, because it's so dense that it blends pretty well. I'll do this side too. And then go right down into the front of your neck as well. And this just makes you look like you have a more snatched jawline and a defined neck. You can also do your cheek right under the bone and give you a more defined cheek look. So the thing with contour is that you have to blend. Like, do not just leave it like this. You have to really get in there and brush it out. But you don't want to ruin the foundation that you already have. So it's kind of like, it's a very fine line between how hard to push and blend. And if you find that you got a little bit too much here, take your sponge again and tap it out. You can blend it. When you're done with contour, you don't have to blend it too much right here because you're actually going to go back in with bronzer and add even more shading. So this is my bronzer brush. I am obsessed with it. It's a little bit tapered. It's super big and fluffy. It just gives you the best bronzer coverage that I've ever found. I used to just have a standard round one, and I find I really like the tapered edge, especially for in my cheekbone. So my favorite bronzer, this is Becca's Capri Coast. And then you just tap the brush in, tap the product off so you don't get too much at once, and then lightly just go right under your bone and a little bit right on top, but not too much. And then you can also go onto your temple up here, kind of trace down into a 3. This just gives you that nice contour as well. So if you don't want to do contour, you could just do this with your bronzer, and it does give you a nice little shape. Now, if you're finding that the contour isn't blended out enough, take another brush. This is just a small little fluffy brush, and you can blend it even more. I wouldn't say this is a staple brush, but it does come in handy for blending out a lot of things. So I do like this brush a lot. You can get it on your nose too. Okay, next is blush, and I am obsessed with this brush. I just got it at Target. It's just the perfect firmness. I love the round shape. It is so soft. And then for blush, lately I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury. This is color Ecstasy. This is what it looks like. And then just tap your brush, tap the product off, smile, and brush onto the apple of your cheek. And then go up, like pull up. It gives you a more youthful look. And also if you have dark under eye circles, pulling it up a little bit is gonna bring them out. So they're not gonna look so hollow. For highlighter, there's 2 options. You have your fan brush, which is just a really thin line, or you have a denser fluffy brush. So lately I've been using this more because I like that it applies more product. I've been just in the highlighter lately. So highlighter, this is Becca Opal. Swirl it around, tap it, and go right onto the top of your cheek. You can pull it up into your temple a little bit. You don't want to go too close to your eye, so keep it right on top of, like right where you applied the blush, but right on top. Isn't that pretty? And then the bridge of your nose just makes your skin look so glowy and happy. You can pull it down a little, but I really focus it right here on your forehead and right here. So it just makes your skin like glowy, but not greasy. And that's what you want. Okay, so those are all the face brushes. Now let's move on to eyes. So I always use an eyelid primer. This is Laura Mercier. I use eyelid primer because my eyelids always crease and the eyeshadow just gets balled up in the middle. And so if you have greasy eyelids, you might want to try something like this. And the way I apply it, you can totally use your finger, but I actually really like this brush. It's just a little dense eyeshadow brush, but it just blends it out so well. Just rub a little on your eyelid. I love this color. This is color Linen, and I like it because it brightens my eyelids. My eyelids are a little bit darker than the rest of my face for some reason. So apply it and then brush it out, or you can use your finger. Then pull it up a little. Okay, in my opinion, this is the only eyeshadow brush that you need. This is the best brush I've ever found. It's the Sephora Pro Featherweight Crease. It's super fluffy, but it has a nice tapered edge, so you can really get into your crease with it. And then if you're switching colors, you actually can use a color cleaner where you just rub your brush here, takes off all of the other color, and you can go and get a new one. So you don't have to wash your brush in between colors or have 50 eyeshadow brushes. This is a game changer. All right, for eyes today, I'm using my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the best palette. It has the best cool neutrals with enough shimmer shades for me. It's all I really use. You're gonna take a nice light base color and rub it all over your eyelids. So eyelid primers can be a little bit tacky, or if you just have your regular eyelid, the oils, this is gonna just help set that eyelid so that it allows the other eyeshadow colors to blend really well. And then you're gonna go back in with a little bit of a crease shade. I actually would like to mix these two together and go right into your crease. And this is the same brush. This brush seriously can do it all. So now that I have my crease, I'm gonna get this dark color off and I'm gonna go back in with a lighter shimmery shade. So my shimmery shades in this, you've got this light one here, or this one's also my favorite, Marzipan. Tap it on and go right into the middle to the right here and out. And this is just gonna brighten your eye. Okay, so you can also add a pop of highlight right under your brow, right on the brow bone. And that's gonna just make your brows pop and make your whole face look really glowy. You can use a regular highlighter or you can use a shimmery eyeshadow, whichever you prefer. Also, if you don't have an eyeshadow palette, but you wanna create some dimension, you can use your bronzer as your crease shade and it just ties your whole look together really well. All right, so the last brush in today's tutorial is my eyeliner brush. And this is just a really skinny angled brush. I've had this forever. This one's from MAC. And you're gonna take a dark, I always use a black powder, but if you don't have black eyelashes like me, you can use a dark brown or you can use a fun color. Just dip the brush in the powder and run it right along your lash line. And then I also use this same brush and I'm gonna use a dark purple actually, go along my bottom lash line. And it just really pulls the whole look together. That's all you need. All right, and then the last brush I'm going to talk about today is not a must-have, but it's a nice to have, and it's just little spoolies, these little guys. And I use these to brush out my brows. You can brush out your lashes. Just super easy. They come in handy so much. I don't like clumpy lashes, so I will use one of these after I apply mascara and just comb them out. But yeah, brush your eyebrows up. It also helps get all of that makeup out of your brows, so makes them look really clean. All right, and then last step, this isn't a brush, this is just lipstick. Just pull the whole look together. All right, everyday makeup look with all of my favorite makeup brushes. So I'm gonna link all of the brushes that I use below, and if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Lauren Arrow Beauty, and you can DM me there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this informative, and I will see you next time.